Hey, Free Speech TV world, it's Mama and the Mooks here at the Stephanie Miller Show.
Hello.
Good morning.
You know, Seinfeld was about nothing. I think the Stephanie Miller Show is about everything.
A little bit
isn't it?
everything.
Yeah, a
It's
little bit.
kind of everything like thrown into a blender and we hit frappe.
Right,
With wine poured in.
right. Senators, fart jokes, politics, pop culture, entertainment.
Drinking.
Drinking, random stray thoughts. It's what all the hip kids are talking about.
Yep.
We have the smartest, funniest people in the country on this show, do we not?
We absolutely do.
Right?
Our sexy liberal army of callers calling every day to tell us all about it.
There you go. And some right-wingers that Travis particularly enjoys talking to.
They're my favorites.
Okay. You can watch us every weekday from 9 to noon Eastern or 6 to 9 Pacific, which is really early. But we still, we try to, we're still pulling in people like Rob Reiner, Lily Tomlin, Frangela, you name it. You can only get it here at the Stephanie Miller Show. Mama, Mooks, fancy celebrities,
And everything.
and fart jokes.
Free Speech TV.
At Earth Justice, we defend the environment in the courtroom. Join our fight. When you take a seat, you take a stand. Earth Justice, because the Earth needs a good lawyer.
Broadcasting around the nation, on your radio, on your TV, and online. This is The Bill Press Show.
Hey, friends and neighbors, what do you say? Good morning. Great to see you this morning. This is The Bill Press Show. We're coming to you live from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., bringing you up to date on all the news of the day, whether it's happening here in our nation's capital, around the country, around the globe. Coming to you live on your local progressive talk radio station, on Free Speech TV, and worldwide on our video stream, TawkrTV. Events in the nation's capital. Hi, everybody. It's Bill Press. This year marks the 10th anniversary of doing the Bill Press Show, every day covering the news of the day with the nation's top newsmakers, either on the line or in our studio right here on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Not only that, I go to the White House briefings every day to get answers to the top questions of the day. Bottom line, if it's happening in Washington, D.C., either at the White House or the Capitol, we are all over it. Every day, we welcome to our studio political leaders and reporters and labor leaders and newsmakers to help us understand the issues of the day. You know, we started out as a radio show only, but over the years, we have branched out to all forms of the new media. So today, we're not just a radio show. We are podcasting, streaming audio, streaming video, and we are simulcast live on Free Speech TV nationwide, reaching out to 40 million households on Free Speech TV, in addition to hundreds of thousands on local radio stations and online.
AFGE is so proud to be associated with this show and looks forward to being working with Bill and this show for a long time.
Bill Press is the right man at the right time with the right message.
And thanks to the Bill Press Show, we get our message out to thousands and thousands of people every day. Thank you, Bill Press.
The Teamsters are a proud partner with Bill Press on his show, telling the truth about what's going on with working families. Tune in.
Yes, it's been a fun and exciting 10 years so far for the Bill Press Show. We're looking forward to many more with all of you, broadcasting live every morning from the nation's capital.
On your radio, on TV, and online. This is The Bill Press Show.
Let's get America working. We must build, maintain, and repair our nation's crumbling infrastructure. Teamsters support a bipartisan approach to creating good jobs for American workers. Learn more at letsgetamericaworking.com. Teamsters strong, America stronger.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
All right. I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay. So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
At Earth Justice, we defend the environment in the courtroom. Join our fight. When you take a seat, you take a stand. Earth Justice, because the Earth needs a good lawyer.
Around the nation, on your radio, on your TV, and online. This is The Bill Press Show.
Rick Perry dropped out. The question is, did Rick Perry ever drop in? Hey, hello. What do you say, everybody? Here we go. It's a great big Monday. It's Great Big Monday, September 14. How about it? This is the Bill Press Show. We are live in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. We're just down the street from the United States Capitol building, where a lot of excitement about the visit of Pope Francis to Washington next week. There are already signs on the freeways leading into Washington. Expect the city to be shut down and take public transit because you ain't going to be able to drive anywhere. Well, it's not quite that bad, but just about. They're already warning people about all the streets are going to be shut down, which is very, very funny because if you go to Rome, everything's where the Pope lives. Cars, buses, trains, everything, people walking around. I mean, there's no problem. But here the Pope arrives, and they're going to shut down Washington, shut down Philadelphia, and shut down New York. It is insane.
There have been signs up since last week talking about all the street closures and use public transit and stay off the roads if you can here in D.C.
Yeah. I mean, let's not go overboard, but we always do. I mean, seriously. The Queen of England could come here, and there would not be as much, right? There would not be as much security or as many precautions.
Pope has got God on his side.
That's right.
You know, what else do you need when you talk about security?
At any rate, that's preoccupying us here in Washington. Just one of the things preoccupying us here in Washington. We'll tell you all about it. What's going on here in our nation's capital, around the country, around the globe. We'll tell you what's going on. You tell us what you think about it all. Here with you on your local progressive talk radio station, and we're here with you, of course, on Free Speech TV and worldwide on our video stream, TawkrTV. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, make it for real by giving us a call at 866-55-PRESS and send us your comments on Twitter at BP Show and on Facebook at facebook.com/Bill Press Show. Peter Ogburn and Jamie Benson leading up our team here today.
Hello, Bill.
Good morning. Everybody good?
Yes, indeed.
Ray Rogers, she's here just to take your calls at 866-55-PRESS. And Cyprian Bolding, our videographer, on the scene. That's why we're looking so good on Free Speech TV. Yes. All right, so football, big time over the weekend. Got started
indeed.
here, right?
NFL is back.
Okay. How do we do? How we want to know? You know, we're up against all of our listeners and the viewers on FanDuel out there. So
That's right. That's right. We still have tonight's game, so the results are inconclusive, as we know.
Okay.
But as of now,
yes, right.
We have a pretty clear leader, Jamie Benson.
I don't want to brag. It's a little too early to brag.
By the way,
all right, there's 2 big games tonight.
Whoa, number 1, really?
I'm pretty shocked, to be honest. I mean, I'm good, but
to
I'm
the Bill Press
shocked.
listeners and viewers, because we ended up getting about. We got a lot of people in our pool. I'll put it that way.
Is that right? Cool.
And Jamie is a very, very clear number 1 by a significant margin. By the way, he's got a pretty good lead on everybody else in the pool.
But Cyprian has more players than I do left, which
See, that's the thing.
That's his benefit.
Sip is very
right there.
low right now, but he also has a lot of players who are playing tonight. So if his players do well tonight, that rockets him up because a lot of other people are already done with their roster. So
okay,
we're doing well.
Yeah.
We're doing well.
Is there any way that I'm sorry, my head.
You mixed up your drink there this morning?
I'm so thirsty.
It seems like it.
Is there any way people can check how they're doing? And
FanDuel.com/BillPress. That's our league that we've created. You could go there.
Okay, the Bill Press League.
The Bill Press League. You could go there. You could check it out. You could see Jamie's. If you want to maybe steal a couple of ideas from Jamie for next week, you could go look at his roster.
You can see who his players are?
You can see who his players are.
Okay, all right.
You can see who Sip's players are. You can see who Ray Rogers' players are. You can see who my players are. I would suggest if you're going to get any ideas from anybody, get them from Jamie because he's far and away the winner or the leader. The leader.
All right.
Game's not over yet. FanDuel.com/BillPress.
All right.
And if I win, I might donate to Free Speech TV.
By the way,
you never know.
None of us.
Good work there, Jamie.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
That's right. None of us. I don't think any of us picked Marcus Mariota, the rookie quarterback who showed up to play for the Tennessee Titans yesterday. He showed up in a big way. He threw 4 touchdowns.
No, really.
It's like the biggest rookie quarterback showing ever. He just dominated yesterday.
Yeah. All right. Lots going on today. Scott Bland will join us as he does every Monday from the National Journal Hotline. John Allen from Vox, probably the smartest political reporter in the country today. Rebecca Sinderbrand from Washington Post. And we'll also be talking with the legendary Wayne Slater from the Dallas Morning News about Rick Perry. What's up next? And Bernie, feel the burn. Man, he is on fire. But first...
This is the Full Court Press.
Just a couple of other stories making news. Boy, I tell you, this is dedication. The actor Ben Foster is playing Lance Armstrong in an upcoming movie, and he dedicated himself to playing Lance Armstrong so well that, in fact, he took performance-enhancing drugs to prepare for the role. He said he wanted to know the impact that it would have not only on Lance Armstrong's body, but his mind. And so he wanted to put himself in that space. And so he talked to The Guardian and said, yeah, I did try performance-enhancing drugs, the same ones that Lance Armstrong used. I don't want to talk about the names of the drugs that I took. It feels a little tricky. But, yeah, he said that the way the chemicals affect your body and mind could really give a little more insight into what Lance Armstrong might have been thinking. And so Ben Foster did PEDs just to play Lance Armstrong. Well, you get it very authentic.
I think there's something to be said for that.
Respect?
Yeah.
You know?
But there are also some limits.
Yes.
You know?
I agree. Boy, oh boy, the New York Times is saying farewell to Mark Bittman, one of my favorite food writers.
I
Mark
know,
Bittman yesterday.
I love Mark Bittman.
Yeah, he's so good.
I
He
have
announced
several of his books.
He's great. He's great. He announced yesterday in his last column for the New York Times he is not going to be writing for them anymore. He delivered his final regular opinion piece on Saturday, said he's leaving the Times to, quote, take a central role in a year-old food company, end quote. No other details
in
were
California.
given. No other details were given. He says it was pretty vague the way he put it, but that this company, quote, puts philosophy into action. So we will see where Mark Bittman ends up next. I love Mark Bittman.
I do too. Yeah. I think that it's one book like How to Cook Everything.
How to Cook Everything,
isn't it?
And he's turned it into like a whole series, right? You know, of all these. It is one of the greatest cookbooks for just the basics. You know, mastering the basics, and then you could elevate from there. I
What
love
I
it.
like about is I think of him as simplicity in cooking. You know, it's the I love her, but it's the opposite of Julia Child, mastering the art of French cooking.
Yeah. Very adaptable for home cooks. And a new study takes a look at when children should be allowed to use smartphones. My children, both, they have a smartphone. They're 10 and 7. They know their way around an iPad. But this study says that children should not be allowed to use smartphones until they are the age of 16.
No.
16.
Oh, yeah, good luck.
That's when I got my phone.
Well, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Just showed my age.
Yep.
But they're saying that the brain is still developing. That kids are, well, if they learn on a smartphone that early on, they'll adapt it to all of their other learning skills, and that they should have a proper set of learning skills before they actually start working on a smartphone. I don't know if I agree with it, but I'm just reporting the findings of this particular study.
Yeah. You could not keep a smartphone away from kids today until they're 16.
No way, man.
No.
Think about, you just couldn't.
All right. Yes, indeed. A quick look at the latest on the political front, as we mentioned at the very top of the program. Governor Rick Perry from Texas, who is trying to reinvent himself this time around. So reinvent himself so badly that he actually went out and got new glasses. Those, I think, pretty ugly black glasses. Anyhow, that it didn't do it. Didn't take. Couldn't get it restarted, and he finally accepted reality. Ran out of money. Hadn't paid his staff for a couple of weeks, and to his credit, just cashed it in and said, "Okay, it's not working, so." Move on.
I think this is really symbolic of where we are in politics. He ran a really, really bad campaign last time around.
Yep.
He's still got a lot of stank on him from the last time around. One of the most notorious gaffes in political history, where he was up on stage and couldn't name some of the things he wanted to cut. I think he came back with a better message this time around. But
he did, and I thought he did well. I thought he did well in the first debate. He was feisty and stuff, and he's a border governor. And governor of Texas longer than anybody else had been, following George W. But at any rate, he's out. And it's only a matter of time before some of the other guys. I mean, for all practical purposes, Jim Gilmore is out because he's not even going to be on stage in the debate this week, the second debate, which is Wednesday night. So we're certainly down to 15. But let's say I think Rick Perry had more going for him than George Pataki. Certainly.
Yeah.
I think he's had more going for him than Lindsey Graham has.
God.
And so there's some others on that list. We might talk about that a little bit later in the program. Who should really be among the fallen as well, not just Rick Perry.
Santorum.
Yeah.
Santorum.
Thank you.
Believe
There's Rick Santorum.
There.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that post piece?
Is he really? Yeah.
He's doing he's really pushing hard for Iowa. He showed up at a stop for Iowa a couple weeks ago. And nobody was there. Literally nobody was. He just ended up getting a milkshake and eating it by himself.
Right. And I think Scott Walker will soon be in that category as well. Right. Meanwhile, in Iowa, on the Republican side, the latest CBS poll shows that Donald Trump is ahead, but barely over Ben Carson. He's got Donald Trump 29%, Ben Carson 25%. What I find most significant about that is that over half of the people who say they are going to go out to the caucuses in the Republican caucuses in Iowa are voting for a total outsider, somebody who's never held elective office before, which does say something about the mood of the Republican electorate and something about the mood of the Democratic electorate, which is where I wanted to lead, which is Bernie. Bernie Sanders is on fire. Man. Feel the burn all over the country. It is working for Bernie Sanders. Every week his numbers just keep going up and up. He's been ahead in New Hampshire for a little while, but about a month or so. But he's been creeping up in Iowa, where Hillary started out with a 40-point lead in Iowa. And the latest CBS poll just came out over the weekend shows now that this is just phenomenal. The Bernie Sanders has a 10-point lead over Hillary Clinton in the state of Iowa, the caucus states, the first caucus states, 43 to 33%. And in New Hampshire, Bernie has increased his lead to where he is now up 22 points over Hillary Clinton, 52-30 in New Hampshire. And New Hampshire has always been the Clintons' like home base. Now, Bernie lives next door, so Vermont, New Hampshire, he's got a lot of they're kind of the same stripe, if you will, and he spent a lot of time in that state. But historically, when Bill Clinton got in trouble in 92 and didn't do well in Iowa, it was New Hampshire that saved him. After the whole Jennifer Flowers thing and everything, and that's when he and Hillary did the thing with 60 Minutes and did their apology, and he was the comeback kid. It happened in New Hampshire. New Hampshire has always been fertile Clinton territory. Bernie Sanders up 52-30. And Bernie yesterday on Meet the Press, again saying Democrats should learn their lesson if they stick with the same old. This is the same. I heard him make the same point out in Minnesota to the DNC, by the way, where he told the DNC, you can't win with the same old, because people are tired and they won't turn out. And when they don't turn out, look what happened.
The Republicans did not win last November. The Democrats lost because a lot of their supporters are demoralized, not coming out to vote.
So my question to you is, what's the secret? What's Bernie's secret? 866-55-PRESS. Why are people so excited about him? And now, maybe more importantly, what happens to Bernie when he gets into the South? Because that's sort of the hit on Bernie right now. People are saying, here's David Axelrod, Bill Clinton's famed political mentor, who is saying that Bernie's problem is, after Iowa and New Hampshire, basically two big white state or little white states, comes the South and Super Tuesday, and that's where Bernie's going to run into some problems because he doesn't have the support he needs among minorities.
He doesn't really have a relationship with minority communities because of the state from which he comes. And you can see that in polling in states like South Carolina, Nevada, and elsewhere. He's going to need to develop that to become a competitive candidate down the line.
So the first question again is, what's Bernie's secret? Why is he taking, why are people just flocking to him with big crowds and the polling numbers, 866-55-PRESS? But the second question, can Bernie translate that? Can Bernie translate that to the South? Can he get support with his same message among African Americans, among Latinos, across the board? He was in South Carolina over the weekend traveling with Cornel West, Princeton professor and activist, who introduced Bernie at a big rally down there.
Brown, red, yellow, Christians, Jews, Muslims, gay brothers, lesbian sisters, trans. He keeps track across the board. That's what we need. That's why we are here. Thank you for being here, and we just getting started. We're going to turn this country around. Thank God for our dear brother Bernie Sanders.
That is great, man. Cornell was saying, Bernie can bring them all together. Can he? 866-55-PRESS. Let's talk about it here on the Bill Press Show. Feel the burn.
Thank God for our brother Bernie Sanders.
Like politics? Then like The Bill Press Show on Facebook. This is The Bill Press Show.
Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show hosts in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people, of Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around, offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman Show, Stephanie Miller Show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
We must build, maintain, and repair our nation's crumbling infrastructure. Teamsters support a bipartisan approach to creating good jobs for American workers. Learn more at letsgetamericaworking.com. Teamsters strong, America stronger.
Bernie phenomenon keeps surging, more and more support in Iowa and in New Hampshire. We mentioned he was in South Carolina, and I think you're going to see the numbers change in South Carolina as well, the more time that he spends down there. And Bernie announced last week that he's going to continue to stump in Iowa and New Hampshire, but more and more will be focusing now on Super Tuesday states. And looking at the latest polls in South Carolina, according to CBS, Hillary Clinton is at 46, Bernie Sanders at 23. Substantial lead, but Bernie down there over the weekend with this message.
The bottom line is that as a nation, we can and must do a lot better than we are doing to protect the needs of low-income and working people. We need an economy that works for all of us and not just a handful of billionaires, and that is what this campaign is about.
Picking up a lot of support down there. That support will grow. Again, we see Bernie now with substantial leads. 22 points up in New Hampshire. What's behind Bernie's success? Can he translate that to the South? 866
is the Bill Press Show.
Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, And we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show host in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people, a Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around, offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman's show, Stephanie Miller's show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
Let's get America working. We must build, maintain, and repair our nation's crumbling infrastructure. Teamsters support a bipartisan approach to creating good jobs for American workers. Learn more at letsgetamericaworking.com. Teamsters strong, America stronger.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
He's not running for president, but he will shake hands and kiss babies. It's the Bill Press Show, your progressive headquarters for the 2016 election.
Yeah, I won't just kiss babies. 33 minutes after the hour, here we go. It is the Bill Press Show. Good to have you a part of it today on this Monday, September 14, live from Washington, D.C., where we're brought to you today by the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. President Jim Hoffa leading the men and women of the Teamsters Union in all their good work, and as a result of which we all live better in this country. President Hoffa here last week talking about their new campaign. bipartisan campaign, bringing unions and big business together to put pressure on Congress to do something about our crumbling infrastructure in this country, make us all safer, and create millions of jobs in the process. Find out about it at their website, Teamster.org. Where they say, "Get America back to work," I think is their slogan, and it's a good one. Right now, we're talking about Bernie Sanders. He is hard at work. The headline in the Huffington Post this morning, I think, kind of wraps it up. It says, "Bernie makes it a race." And indeed, he has, when you look at what's happening in Iowa, where he's now surged to 10. Surge is the overworked word of the season, I'm afraid. But he's popped up to 10 points ahead of Hillary Clinton in Iowa and 22 points ahead of Hillary Clinton. I keep saying the coronation, right? The one who was going to get it automatically, no problems, no bumps in the road. It was a done deal. That's what they were telling us 6 months ago. Hasn't turned out that way. She's still got a sizable lead in South Carolina and throughout the South, but that's where Bernie's starting to make some inroads. What's Bernie's secret, and can he translate his strength in Iowa, New Hampshire, to southern states where, let's face it, a large percentage of African-American and Latino voters particularly, not necessarily Bernie's cup of tea. Bill is out in Chicago, the great WCPT. Hello, Bill. What do you think?
I just wanted to say I think he's really going to resonate because he's talking about real issues that matter to real people, and he's tapped into the activist wing of the Democratic Party. We're not afraid to get out there and be vocal and really push what it is he represents for the working class, and that's why his message is going to resonate.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, I think it's a message that goes across all economic lines, right? He's talking about, except maybe for the top 1%, they may not like what they hear, but he's talking about raising the minimum wage. He's talking about expanding Social Security. He's talking about jobs. He's talking about campaign reform and making sure that it's just the millionaires and the billionaires don't get all the breaks in this country. Bill, I think that's a message that resonates across the board. And I think you're right. Certainly, the activists in the party are on Bernie's side. That's why That's why, those who say, well, look at the polls in Iowa. That may be fine, but he doesn't have a ground game. Well, actually, he does have a ground game. I think they have about 80 people on the staff in Iowa. But the polls are among the most likely voters, those who are likely to get out to the caucuses.
Right.
And my own little, it's all anecdotal, but you've heard me talk about when I went to California, when I just went up to New York, the only sign of any political campaign I saw in either place, they were all Bernie Sanders.
Bernie.
Bernie bumper stickers, Bernie volunteers, Bernie T-shirts.
He certainly, I don't want to make the comparison to between Bernie and Donald Trump, but they both have certainly tapped into an energy.
Bernie has better hair.
Bernie has way better hair.
Donald, from the Virgin Islands. Hello. All right. Hey, Donald, good to have you with us.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Good. Any sign of Bernie in the Virgin Islands?
Hey, listen, we don't vote for president down here, but somebody needs to vote these people out. Hey, listen, a hint to like Bernie. I mean, I'm all for him, and I wish I was back in the States to vote because I'm living in the islands. But anyway, listen, Bernie, to me, I think he needs to go into the communities, into the ghettos, into the minority communities, and not seek the advice from these ministers and these so-called guys, or these black Americans who wear these I should say, letters on their cuff, MDs and PhDs and this blah, blah, blah. Uh-huh. He needs to get it in to talk to the people who need it, because Trump's not going to do it. Nobody else is going to do it. And anybody in the Republican Party, Democratic Party, is just going to skate on the outside. They're not going to go into the ghetto. They're not going to talk to the people. And most of the ministers that you see up in the forefront, like Sharpton and the rest of them, if you look at them, man, most of them are getting arrested and all kinds of garbage, and nobody wants to hear that because the people that don't go to church are the ones that they don't get to talk to.
Well, I think that's good advice from Bernie, and I hope he takes it in terms of, and I think he would do well getting out, and I think, so from what I've seen, that's the kind of campaigning that he's been doing so far in South Carolina, Donald. Good to hear from you. Get out in the community to talk to people again. I think Bernie has a message that resonates, but he's got to work at it. He's got to show it. Let's face it. If you are an elected official in Iowa or in New Hampshire, you haven't spent a lot of time in the minority community because there are not a lot of minorities there.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I've covered both of those states, and that's this is another issue, but related issue. That's why I've always been part of the school of political thought that we should not reward Iowa and New Hampshire with the first primaries in the nation because they are not representative of the rest of the country.
Yeah.
And then when I was Democratic State Chair of California, I was a member of the Democratic National Committee, and I helped lead the fight to take the first primaries away from Iowa and New Hampshire, a fight that, believe it or not, we won in the Rules Committee of the DNC one day, and the Clinton White House was so upset by that move that they...
Way to go, Bill.
Yeah. That they lobbied members of the DNC during the lunch hour, and we had another vote in the afternoon, and it went the other way.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No kidding. That's interesting.
Right. I mean, because they were afraid of alienating the voters in Iowa and New Hampshire. So I've always been part of that movement. But anyhow, so that just goes with the territory, if you will, with Bernie. So he's got to take that message, go down, and I think he can, and I think he will, and I think it'll work. Because it's a message, as Donald said, that really appeals to middle-class Americans, anybody who's not part of the top 1%. Susan is Susan from the neighboring state of New Hampshire, Meredith, New Hampshire. Hey, Susan.
Hey, Bill. Thanks for everything you do. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
What I wanted to say is Bernie Sanders talks to you like you're a grown-up, and it is so refreshing.
That's a good point. Yes.
It's been a long time since I was in 7th grade, longer than I care to share. And to be spoken to as an adult and to be told the truth and to be given a straight answer is just, it shouldn't be so amazing, but it really is. I went to see him in Franklin, New Hampshire, and I live in the red part of New Hampshire. But it was packed, standing room only, and the energy in that room was phenomenal.
Is that right? Oh, great. Yeah.
I mean, it was just wonderful. And I have a theory about how the Black Lives Matter folks actually got on Bernie's stage. I don't think they could get into Hillary's event.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. In fact, they tried to get into a Hillary event, and the Secret Service blocked them, right? That's why they haven't interrupted her. But what you say, Susan, is so true, and I've heard a lot of Bernie speeches, but, when Bernie gets these huge crowds, and when he gets up in front of them, he's not like just throwing them red meat. He's really talking seriously about substantive issues, and he can talk for an hour and hold that crowd in the palm of his hand, right?
I just kept hearing, he kept going, and I'm like, I just kept hearing more.
Yeah.
And the lady sitting next to me, she was not into politics. She was so excited.
Yeah.
She's like, let's take a selfie. I'm the crazy Bernie lady.
The other interesting thing about Bernie is he's listening. He's not just that he's saying the right things, he's listening.
Yeah. Hey, Susan, so great to hear from you right from the scene up there in New Hampshire. And by the way, you want a big contrast? Yeah. You mentioned Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So, they have this great big thing at the tailgate party in front of the Iowa State game yesterday, or over the weekend. It was Saturday or Sunday. And I think it was Saturday, actually. And Donald Trump was an hour late for the whole crowd, right? And he spoke for 1 minute. Bernie Sanders will speak for an hour. And everybody wants more.
Yeah.
Right? Donald Trump gives him 1 minute. But you know why? Because that's all he's got.
It's all about sound bites for Donald Trump. That's all he needs.
All right. Yes, indeed. We'll continue to take a look at the political scene here today with Scott Bland calling. Scott Bland joining us next from the National Journal Hotline. Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show hosts in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people. Of Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around, offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman's show, Stephanie Miller's show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
Seen on Free Speech TV and online on TawkrTV. This is the Bill Press Show.
12 minutes before the top of the hour. John Allen from Vox, chief political correspondent for Vox, here at the top of the next hour. Right now we're joined by Scott Bland, editor-in-chief of the National Journal Hotline, holding on our news line this morning. Hello, Scott. Always good to catch up with you.
Good morning.
Let's take a look at the debate, second GOP debate this Wednesday from the Reagan Library in Simi Valley, California. Two debates. Let's start with the kiddie debate. How many, with Rick Perry dropping out, how many on stage now?
It looks like there are going to be 4, although, who knows, maybe it'll shrink again before we get to the debate. But Rick Perry dropping out raises the question of how long these second-tier debates have really solidified this impression that there just are some kind of also-rans hanging on to the bottom of the GOP field.
That's what I was wondering.
Perry dropping out kind of reinforced that impression and raised the question a little bit of how long the rest of them are going to be in the race for. Carly Fiorina managed to escape the gravitational pull of that group last month and vault into the first-tier debate. So, it'll be interesting to see whether Rick Santorum or Bobby Jindal or Lindsey Graham whether any of them can make their impression this time.
So it'll be Lindsey Graham, Rick Santorum, Bobby Jindal, and George Pataki, correct?
That's right, yes.
It's almost like whether it's worth even having. Don't you? I mean, if I were CNN, I'd be giving serious thought to why spend an hour of time with an audience and the anchors and all that TV time for these 4 nobodies. But
well, I'm guessing that the ratings are still all right. I mean, I don't remember off the top of my head what the ratings for the initial one were, but I think they probably still do okay. I mean, the ratings for the primetime debates are out of control.
Absolutely.
I think I saw that CNN is selling their ad slots at like 10 times the normal rate or something like that.
God.
For these, which is pretty incredible. So people are certainly tuning in for the big ones, and I think some of that is bleeding down into the smaller ones.
Yeah, I would think that this one will get a slightly smaller crowd than the last time. But again, who knows? Because it's still they're tuning in to see Donald Trump. So there'll be 11 on stage for the varsity debate, I guess you could call it. And still Donald Trump in the middle. What do you make of this latest CBS poll showing Donald Trump almost double what Jeb Bush has? Is Jeb Bush going to get any traction back?
Sure. I think Bush is almost bound to get traction back, and the reason why is because the real nuts and bolts of the campaign has barely started yet. If you look at the polls in the various states, one of the few traditional politicians who's doing well right now is Ohio Governor John Kasich, who's moved up toward the top of the polls, not to the top, but into the top tier in New Hampshire. And the reason is because the super PAC backing him has already spent more than $4 million on TV ads there. And so, Jeb Bush has over $100 million of super PAC money at his disposal, plus his own campaign is starting to run ads in New Hampshire and elsewhere. So I think his numbers are pretty much bound to go up. It's just a question of, when and how much compared to everyone else.
That as he starts spending his money, his poll numbers will improve.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's pretty much an iron law of politics. Now, the thing is, everyone else is going to start spending their money, too, and so how these different factors bounce off each other a little bit.
When's the right time for him to start spending that money?
Well, whether or not it's the right time, he's starting it pretty much this week. He's got ads on broadcast in Boston and on cable and other channels in New Hampshire, kind of ready to roll, and they're going to go all the way through the New Hampshire primary 5 months from now.
The poll the CBS poll on the Democratic side is getting a lot more attention, perhaps showing Bernie Sanders up 10 points over Hillary in Iowa and 22 points over Hillary in New Hampshire. I mean, you can't say Hillary's finished, but this is incredible. What's your
absolutely.
Take?
Well, and it basically these polls show kind of a continuation of the trend that we've been seeing for a while, is Sanders slowly kind of creeping up on Clinton and recently overtaking her in some polls. Now, these ones show a much more dramatic set of leads for Sanders in Iowa and New Hampshire than we've seen anywhere else before, and so I'd be very cautious about extrapolating too much from that. But the fact is, you can't expect this trend to go on forever. Like Sanders is going to top out somewhere beneath 100%, I would think. But it's pretty remarkable to just watch him kind of keep going up, especially as this chatter continues about Vice President Biden continuing to look at the possibility of entering the race.
Yeah. And the latest ones, it's clearly now until Biden were Biden to get in, it would change, I think. But right now, it's a contest between Hillary and Bernie. Well, we'll keep watching it and keep checking in with you, Scott. Thanks so much for joining us again. Editor-in-Chief of National Journal Hotline, Scott Bland at nationaljournal.com. Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show hosts in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people, of Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around, offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman's show, Stephanie Miller's show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
This is the Bill Press Show.
John Allen from Vox at the top of the next hour. Peter.
Shocking news on Friday as Serena Williams lost to Roberta Vinci in the semifinals of the U.S. Open. She did a great job. We all noticed that. So did Michelle Obama. She tweeted at Serena Williams, saying, "So proud of you, Serena Williams. What you did this year was amazing," and signed it with a little M.O., so you know that came from Michelle Obama.
That's nice. Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Serena, she's still like the world's greatest
She's a
athlete.
freak. She is a total freak.
Absolutely, yeah. But not
So
everybody, nobody can win every single game or every single match.
Right.
And that scrappy young that's a young Italian woman.
Yeah.
She's a real firecracker.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
And then she lost to her fellow Italian the next day.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Never know.
And then.
This is the Bill Press Show. Broadcasting around the nation. On your radio, on your TV, and online. This is the Bill Press Show.
Hey, friends and neighbors, what do you say? Good morning. Great to see you this morning. This is the Bill Press Show. We're coming to you live from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., bringing you up to date on all the news of the day, whether it's happening here in our nation's capital, around the country, around the globe. Coming to you live on your local progressive talk radio station, on Free Speech TV, and worldwide on our video stream, TawkrTV. Events in the nation's capital. Hi, everybody. It's Bill Press. This year marks the 10th anniversary of doing the Bill Press Show every day, covering the news of the day with the nation's top newsmakers, either on the line or in our studio right here on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Not only that, I go to the White House briefings every day to get answers to the top questions of the day. Bottom line, if it's happening in Washington, D.C., either at the White House or the Capitol, we are all over it. Every day, we welcome to our studio political leaders and reporters and labor leaders and newsmakers to help us understand the issues of the day. You know, we started out as a radio show only, but over the years, we have branched out to all forms of the new media. So today, we're not just a radio show. We are podcasting, streaming audio, streaming video, and we are simulcast live on Free Speech TV nationwide. Reaching out to 40 million households on Free Speech TV, in addition to hundreds of thousands on local radio stations and online.
AFGE is so proud to be associated with this show and looks forward to being working with Bill and this show for a long time.
Bill Press is the right man at the right time with the right message.
And thanks to the Bill Press Show, we get our message out to thousands and thousands of people every day. Thank you, Bill Press.
The Teamsters are a proud partner with Bill Press on his show, telling the truth about what's going on with working families. Tune in.
Yes, it's been a fun and exciting 10 years so far for the Bill Press Show. We're looking forward to many more with all of you, broadcasting live every morning from the nation's capital.
On your radio, on TV, and online. This is the Bill Press Show.
Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show hosts in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people, of Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around, offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV Bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman's show, Stephanie Miller's show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month. You get this Free Speech TV Bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessing. And for $360, the Free Speech TV Bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And, of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
Let's get America working. We must build, maintain, and repair our nation's crumbling infrastructure. Teamsters support a bipartisan approach to creating good jobs for American workers. Learn more at letsgetamericaworking.com. Teamsters strong, America stronger.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks.
Tune into Free Speech TV for Democracy Now!, a national, independent, award-winning news program bringing you people and perspectives rarely seen on corporate media.
Broadcasting around the nation, on your radio, on your TV, and online. This is The Bill Press Show.
Big news. Rick Perry dropped out of the race. Big question. Was Rick Perry ever really in the race? Hey, hello, everybody. I don't want to be mean to him this morning, but just honest. It's Monday, September 14. Great to see you today. Thank you for joining us. Here we are, the Bill Press Show, live at our nation's capital, out with you in every corner of this great country of ours, on the radio and on television. On the radio, on your local progressive talk radio station, and on those two great radio apps, iHeartRadio and TuneIn, both free. Download them. Follow us on Radio Land wherever you go. And on TV, here with you on Free Speech TV worldwide on our video stream, TawkrTV. In studio with us, one of the best and most reliable, I think, voices on the political scene today, the chief political correspondent for Vox, Jonathan Allen. Hello, John. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thank you for that kind introduction.
No, you're
Peter.
You're usually spot on. And co-author, I should say, of the great best-selling book last year on Hillary Clinton, HRC, right? And I can't wait for the sequel, man.
The hard thing about plotting the sequel is trying to figure out whether it's like one of those upward trajectories or one of those remember the rocket launch when they kept screwing them up, and there was the one that went up and just curved back and came back to Earth.
What was that, SpaceX or?
Yeah, SpaceX.
Well, I was talking more about back in the in the 50s and 60s.
Oh yeah.
I guess that was in the 50s.
Let's hope it's not like that. At any rate, you join our
the
team.
Unmanned craft that had problems.
Okay. One wonders whether there's anybody in charge of this craft at times, too.
Right, or maybe too many people in charge.
That's more likely it, right? Peter Ogburn and Jamie Benson leading
Hey, Bill.
Team Press.
Hey.
Here we are.
Yes, indeed. Ray Rogers. Ready to take your calls at 866-55-PRESS. Remember, we want to hear from you out there, the voters and the listeners and the viewers. 866-55-PRESS. Cyprian Bolding rounding out our team as our videographer. I don't know whether you had a chance to catch. Donald Trump is everywhere, of course. Out in Iowa over the weekend before, he stopped by the Jimmy Fallon show. And Fallon asked him the question, I think, which everybody wonders about Donald Trump. He is so assertive about all of his strengths and how smart he is and everything. Has he ever been wrong about anything, Donald Trump?
I will absolutely apologize sometime in the hopefully distant future if I'm ever wrong.
It's funny.
It is, and but I'm sure he means it, though.
Yeah. He was wrong once in 1977, but he can't remember what it was.
Every good joke has a little truth in it.
Yeah, it's sort of like, remember that when somebody asked George W. Bush in his last year, I think, whether
he regrets.
And he regrets, and he couldn't think of.
I can't think of any right now.
One single one. 9 minutes after the hour now, Jonathan Allen here with us for the first half hour. We'll be joined in the next hour by Rebecca Sinderbrand from the Washington Post, and then the legendary Wayne Slater.
Wow.
From the Dallas Morning News. Yeah,
wow.
We love Wayne.
I'm like the warm-up act.
Yeah. But first, it's Peter.
This is the Full Court Press.
Just a couple of other stories making news. We go to Pennsylvania, where there was a football game on Friday night, high school football game. Friday Night Lights in Pennsylvania. Meadville High School was playing Dubois High School, and they set a record for the most combined points ever in a football game. The final score, Meadville 107.
Get out.
Dubois 90. It got so high that they ran out of numbers to put on the scoreboard.
With
literally.
A football score?
For a football
that
score.
Sounds like a prank, like a plan.
Right? Yeah, I was skeptical.
Yeah.
Running back for Meadville, a gentleman by the name of Journey Brown. You'd love to have this guy on your fantasy football team. He ran for 720 yards and 10 touchdowns. Can you imagine? It's either sloppy football or two really, really big offensive powerhouses taking shots at each other. Anyway.
I was going to say, I don't know a lot about football, but I think both teams had better work on their defense.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, absolutely. A man from Oregon was on a JetBlue flight. He had a little too much to drink, and he was arrested for criminal mischief and offensive littering on Friday. I'm going to tread very delicately as to what offensive littering means, but he drank too much, he passed out, he woke up, and he relieved himself on the passengers in front of him, and then he fell back in his chair and fell back asleep. The passengers obviously saw this happen. They called the stewardess called the police, but when they landed, the cops came on board, got the guy, carted him off, and charged him again with criminal mischief and offensive littering.
Oh, Lord.
They should have made him clean it up, too.
Yeah, right? And I saved this. I saw this story on Friday, but I purposely saved it just so we could do this story with John Allen, because the Nationals... The Nationals are having some problems. They won yesterday. Good news, bad news. They won yesterday. Yeah. The bad news is they are without right-hander Drew Storen for the rest of the season, because last week, after he gave up a home run, the go-ahead home run to the Mets on Wednesday night, he got so upset, he went into the locker room, he punched his locker, and he broke his thumb. So he's not throwing anymore.
I wouldn't wish harm on anyone, but if he was going to break his thumb doing that, maybe he could have done it earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
that last week was a nightmare.
Yeah.
A nightmare.
No. I mean, what Carol and I were talking about this, Carol, the number one Nats fan.
Yeah.
What happens to a guy like that? I mean, he's got a contract to play ball, right? And to deliver for the team, which he wasn't doing anyhow. But certainly when you break your thumb out of it, just lose it, anger fit.
I'll tell you what.
It's only appropriate in professional sports. Can you imagine doing that in this office?
Yeah, right. No, it never, ever.
Well,
maybe.
Will he? will they dock his pay? And fine him? And what?
I'll tell you what.
Again, he's got a contract to deliver.
I'll tell you what manager Matt Williams said. Matt Williams said, quote, "Regretful that it happened and a little bit embarrassed about it. He's a competitor and he was frustrated and he made a mistake."
Matt Williams, man.
Yeah, right.
He's gotta own up over here.
Goodbye, Matt Williams.
Yeah.
Farewell. See you. Don't let the door hit you.
All right. And 13 minutes now after the hour. So, John Allen, let's start with let's start with just Rick Perry's dropping out. How many more ought to drop out, and what is the real Republican field right now? How many are serious?
Well, eventually 16 more will be gone.
Yeah, right.
Or 15 more will be gone, and the one we left.
Yeah.
So two things on Rick Perry. One, in terms of how many are serious, Donald Trump is serious.
I agree.
I don't think you can discount what's going on with Ben Carson here because there's such an anti-establishment vein that's been tapped in the Republican Party, and he's the anti-Trump for the
anti-Trump outsider, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He's triangulating. And then, look, I think Jeb Bush, because he's got $120 million, is serious. It may not be his campaign that's got money to spend. My guess is that they're drying up on that hard money, and it's really super PAC money that's going to carry him for a while. And then I think Ted Cruz. I think Ted Cruz has this fantastic strategy of hoping that at some point Donald Trump implodes, and but by being nice to Donald Trump, he will pick up some of those voters. To me, those are the serious candidates. I would, generally put Marco Rubio in that category because everyone I know in Washington thinks Marco Rubio is the best candidate in the Republican
field. I keep hearing that.
And yet he's at 5 or 6% nationally. So I'd probably include him too. I think
Scott Walker.
I think it's hard for him to find a lane right now.
Who's that?
Walker.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the Republican nominee, but I could be wrong. So let's throw Scott Walker in, and that's about it.
Right. So that's 6, and all the rest really. I mean, we might as well just stop talking about them, right? I mean, Lindsey Graham, Bobby Jindal, yeah.
Santorum, Huckabee,
yeah,
Pataki,
right. Jindal comes up to Washington last week just to attack Donald Trump, only so he can make some news, right?
Right, maybe get a donation or two. I mean, I assume the flight to Washington costs more than whatever he raised off that.
Yeah, I would imagine. So on the Republicans, on the Democratic side, CBS with their latest poll numbers out today over the weekend, Bernie Sanders now with a 10-point lead over Hillary, just one poll, in Iowa, where she's had a mammoth lead before this, and a 22-point lead over Hillary Clinton in New Hampshire. What's going on?
Well, I think in those two states, at least what you're seeing is that Bernie Sanders had an opening and he took it. Or is that, I guess it was Yogi Berra that once said he'd come to a fork in the road, take it. But I think, Bernie's catching on. I don't think certainly Iowa is not a state that's been friendly to the Clintons over the years. So
right. New Hampshire's been there.
But New Hampshire was there certainly for Bill Clinton as the comeback kid when I think he placed third there. And
but still,
he came out as the comeback kid.
Yeah.
And then Hillary Clinton in 2008, obviously nipping Obama just a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not. I guess I'm surprised at how fast that's happened. I'm definitely surprised about New Hampshire. I think the challenge for Bernie Sanders is still, can he win African American voters and Latino voters?
That was going to be my next question.
But what I will say about that, and I'm not sure I've heard a lot of people make this point. That was the question about Barack Obama at this point in 2008 or in 2007. There was this belief that he had not broken into Hillary Clinton's lead with African American
voters. Very good point. I remember people making that argument at the time. Yeah, that even though he was black, the blacks were with the Clintons and would never leave the Clintons, right?
Yeah, until they did.
Until they did.
En masse. I mean, I mean, there are very few times in politics do you see, essentially monolithic voting, and I think at times during that 2008 primary race, you saw pretty monolithic voting.
So the question, Bernie Sanders was down in South Carolina this weekend. I mean, and that's the question now. Can he translate his success in the polls in Iowa and New Hampshire to Super Tuesday?
Okay, and now the wet blanket on what I just said, which is I think that Bernie Sanders becoming the candidate of African Americans in this country is a much bigger challenge than Barack Obama becoming the candidate of African Americans in this country.
Sure.
And so, look, he's got an opportunity. There are one poll I saw, and I can't remember. I sadly can't remember if this is a national poll or one of the states, but something like 28% of the people couldn't identify Bernie Sanders still. So there's opportunity for him.
Yeah.
He's got a chance to make a case. I'm not sure he's going to be. I mean, having watched him before, like I don't see the connection. I see the policy connection, but I don't necessarily see him
the personal connection.
The personal connection with African Americans and Latinos.
When you look at Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump and Ben Carson, right?
Yeah.
What does that say about the mood of the electorate?
Yeah, they hate us. We live here in Washington. They hate us.
Yeah.
We could be like mechanics here in Washington, and we're like hated insiders. So, like, you know.
But it sort of turned the political establishment upside down, hasn't it? I mean, it reflects what? Just a disgust with Congress, with politicians in general, with...
Well, I think it's left the political class confused about how to fight that. I mean, look, if I were one of these if I were the Bush campaign or the Clinton campaign or Marco Rubio, somebody who's sort of seen and defined as a Washington insider or an establishment figure, I would hire some guerrilla fighters. I'd be like, all right, so who's really good, who's out there that can disrupt things that's not working for Donald Trump right now or not working for Bernie Sanders, and fight them in that way. I mean, Bernie Sanders, I mean, he's an outsider in that he's not a Democrat, but he's been in Washington for the last quarter of a century.
That's the thing that I find surprising about Bernie. He has captured the outsider vote, if you will, and yet he was in this House for 16 years, and he's been in the Senate for, I think, 7 or whatever.
I don't think I think most people had never heard of Hillary Clinton when Bernie Sanders first arrived in Washington.
Right.
There's a very telling moment where Jeb Bush, a couple days ago, was on stage, and he unbuttons his shirt to show the T-shirt underneath, and it's a Reagan Bush 84 T-shirt, which shows, Americans loved the Bushes 31 years ago when they were second on the ticket, not at the top of the ticket. Why wouldn't he have a George W. Bush or a George H.W. Bush?
Yeah, that was a crazy thing to do. He looked awkward unbuttoning his shirt.
So awkward.
No, I found that, I thought, it
was weird.
Why would he do that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. It to me, it was an argument that this is why we don't need Jeb Bush. Right?
Right. It would have been funny if Donald Trump had worn a T-shirt that said Reagan Bush 84.
To show how long the Bushes have been around.
Yeah. But also, how brilliant is it that Donald Trump is essentially running as Ronald Reagan in a year in which Jeb Bush is essentially running as George H.W. Bush, which is like, maybe I'll give you some scraps later on down the road.
Make America great again.
You know, so I got to say something about that. The New York Times yesterday had a piece about how, I think it was yesterday, it was definitely over the weekend, had a piece about how none of the Republicans are optimistic this time, and they're all angry, and how Reagan was so optimistic. Reagan wasn't optimistic. If you go back, I mean, he was optimistic in that things could get better the way that Donald Trump is, but I actually think Trump is essentially running the Ronald Reagan campaign. And if you go back and look at Ronald Reagan's acceptance speech in Detroit in 1980, it's about how bad the country is.
Yeah, totally, and how he could fix it.
Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. John Allen with us from Vox. Vox.org or is it .com?
.com.
.com.
We take money.
I'll say what's funny about this rundown in just a second here, but we'll be right back and take your calls at 866-55-PRESS.
Connect with The Bill Press Show on Twitter. Follow us at BP Show and tweet using the hashtag WatchingBP. This is The Bill Press Show.
Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show hosts in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive. Keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people, of Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around, offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman's show, Stephanie Miller's show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp. The whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
Let's get America working. We must build, maintain, and repair our nation's crumbling infrastructure. Teamsters support a bipartisan approach to creating good jobs for American workers. Learn more at letsgetamericaworking.com. Teamsters strong, America stronger.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
Streaming live video right now at youtube.com/TawkrTV. That's TAWKR-TV. This is The Bill Press Show.
26 minutes after the hour now. Looking at the political scene with the chief political correspondent for Vox, John Allen. You mentioned an article in the New York Times about the gloom, doom and gloom maybe among the Republicans. There was also an article, I think it was the Times, might have been the Washington Post, about Hillary might have said, I'm sorry for the emails, but it took her a long time to get there.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. So I've asked you this question before, but I have to ask you again. Is the Hillary email story over?
No, it's not over. Look, I don't think it's something that should really change your opinion. If you're somebody who's been watching closely Hillary Clinton for a long time, it shouldn't really change your opinion about her. I mean, the things that are frustrating about her to her supporters and infuriating to her opponents are like all there to see in this email scandal. The email itself isn't, I don't want to say it's not that big of a deal to have classified information being passed along aides and stuff, but there's no like espionage going on here.
No.
There's no selling secrets. There's no giving them to reporters that we've seen. there's some carelessness and some willingness to push the boundaries of the rules. There was a British preacher whose last name was Jowett who once said, "Never explain, never apologize, do the thing and let him howl." And I think that's sort of Hillary Clinton's attitude toward impediments to whatever it is she wants to do. So I think it'll continue for a little while. She hasn't handled it well. I'm not sure what she can do to handle it better at this point.
All right. Well, the focus this week is going to be on the second Republican debate out at the Reagan Library, and we'll see what the field boils down to after that. Thanks, John, for coming in. Thanks again.
You, Bill.
All right.
This is the Bill Press Show.
Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show hosts in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people, of Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around, offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman Show, Stephanie Miller Show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
Let's get America working. We must build, maintain, and repair our nation's crumbling infrastructure. Teamsters support a bipartisan approach to creating good jobs for American workers. Learn more at letsgetamericaworking.com. Teamsters strong, America stronger.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
Tune into Free Speech TV for Democracy Now!, a national, independent, award-winning news program bringing you people and perspectives rarely seen on corporate media.
the most valuable morning radio show, according to The Nation magazine. This is The Bill Press Show.
Yes. 33 minutes after the hour of the Bill Press Show, Monday, September 14. Hope you had a good weekend. We did indeed. And we are moving into the new week with all the news of the day, particularly political news, building up to the second big Republican debate, this one on CNN out at the Reagan Library in Simi Valley, California, on Wednesday evening, September 16. 8 Eastern is the varsity debate. Not sure what time the JV is. And we're brought to you today by the United Steelworkers and their international president, Leo Gerard. The United Steelworkers, North America's largest industrial union, representing over 1.2 million active and retired members. USW.org is where you find them. Check them out. We salute the good men and women of the steelworkers and thank them for the support of the program. Wanted to go back here with something we just touched on a little bit with John Allen, which is with the Republican, with this debate coming up on Wednesday. The ground has shifted moving into this debate pretty significantly with the first Republican to officially drop out, Rick Perry.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a little math here. We started with 17. Rick Perry drops out. So officially there are 16 left. But Jim Gilmore from Virginia, let's face it. Right? Non-starter, right? It's sort of like if Cyprian said, I'm running for president, right? Although Cyprian would have more support.
Cyprian would probably get more support.
Cyprian would have more, so that's not fair to Cyprian. He'd have, but that's the point. He would have more support than watch out, than Jim Gilmore. Okay, so we're really realistically like down to 15. Okay,
yeah.
Of the 15, 4 of them are going to be in the JV debate.
Mm-hmm.
On Wednesday evening, Lindsey Graham, Rick Santorum, Bobby Jindal, and George Pataki. And then 11 will be on the big stage. Okay? All right? We're breaking them down here. So what we're building up to is who's really left? I mean, who are the serious Republican candidates? They're not 15 serious Republican candidates.
No way.
So let's break it down. You tell me which ones you think are, should be taken seriously, are for real. 866-55-PRESS. All right, so let's go back to where we were. We got the 4 who are in the JV. I would say automatically, those 4, forget them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're all done.
Rick Santorum, Lindsey Graham, Bobby Jindal, George Pataki. In fact, if I were CNN, I'd cancel that debate. It's a waste. They'll sell some ad time, though. Maybe. I don't know. And on the big stage, of course, you've got Donald Trump. And, see if we can remember them all, of course, Ben Carson. And why? Mike Huckabee. I don't know why. And Scott Walker. And, of course, let's not forget Jeb Bush. John Kasich. Carly Fiorina is the one who is added. Okay, Peter, you following me?
I am, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 more to go. Okay, I mentioned Ben Carson. This is hard. Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul.
Do you have Scott Walker?
I got Scott Walker.
Scott Walker.
Yep, I'm telling
Lindsey
you.
Graham. We got Lindsey Graham.
Yes. No. He's in the little one.
Oh yeah, he's in the little one.
No. 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, whoever that one is not serious.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently not.
All right, but I got to tell you, from that field, I would still whittle it down, right? I think Scott Walker is done. I think Mike Huckabee is done. I really think Carly is, too. And
I'm curious to see what happens on this big stage, but
I think Rand Paul is basically...
I think it only gets harder for her, for Carly. And Rand Paul, I mean, I forget he's running for president. He's one of those that when people say he's running for president, I go, oh, yeah, that's right. He's running for president. I forget.
So I got to tell you, if I'm okay, the ones for real, right? that have a real shot now of getting the nomination that we should be talking about would certainly include Donald Trump. I'd have to include Jeb Bush because he's got, I think, Ben Carson.
Sure.
Right? Scott Walker? No. Ted Cruz? I'd still have him up there. He's got the evangelicals, more so than Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee's not on the list. Maybe Marco Rubio, because everybody says the polls don't show it, but everybody says he's...
Everybody seems to think that.
You know, he's the future of the Republican Party. Maybe those 5, right?
That sounds about right.
Ben Carson, we got him on there. Mike Huckabee, no. Scott Walker, no.
The Ben Carson
Jeb
thing
Bush,
is interesting.
yes.
I do think the Ben Carson thing is interesting because you could kind of make the argument that, like, you know, he's having a Michelle Bachmann moment the way that she did last time around, where, you know, she's top of the polls for a little while, then she drops out. But he actually has some staying power.
I'd also
know who we don't have on the list is Chris Christie.
Oh.
Now, that is amazing that we don't remember Chris Christie.
Thank you. And you're right. And by the way, he's
Bon
off.
voyage.
Bon voyage.
Farewell.
Right. The only other one I would put up there is John Kasich.
Yeah.
As a sleeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sleeper is a good way to put it, yeah.
And Kasich continues to show that he's just a little bit different. He's just enough different from the pack that I think he stands out. John Kasich, for example, he was asked, okay, are we going to shut down the government over funding for Planned Parenthood? Every other Republican candidate says, yes, 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 you know, just playing to the base. John Kasich at least had the guts to say over the weekend, yesterday on, I think it was Face the Nation, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Now, look, I'm willing to fight all day long, but you've got to have a good prospect of being able to be successful. Because if you're not successful, you shut the government down, you open it up, and you haven't achieved anything, you're just going to have people shake their head and wonder what your thinking was.
You know, it makes so much sense. So smart. It's just like, let's think this through before we shut the government down and then have to open it up again because people are so outraged because you shut the government down. You know, a kind of level head that I think does still have some appeal, maybe limited appeal in the Republican primary. So that's our list of the serious ones. 6 then. Donald Trump, 6 out of originally 17, now 16 today. Donald Trump, Jeb Bush, Ben Carson, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and John Kasich. You agree? Disagree? Who do you want to add? Take away? Dana. 866-55-PRESS is the toll-free number. Here's Dana in Virginia Beach. Hi, Dana. What do you say?
Yeah, I wanted to comment on the junior varsity squad.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to say let's move Scott Walker down to that list because I don't think he has really a pathway to the nomination at all. He's too divisive as a candidate, and the way that I'm seeing him speak about certain things, he's got a little bit of a racist code in what he says and a lot of things that he says, and I don't like that guy. I don't want him to be president.
But I don't think you have to worry about that, Dana. But you know what? It's interesting. There have been a lot of stories lately about Scott Walker. He was. Everybody said he was going to set the country on fire, right? You know, he was from Wisconsin. He was going to go into Iowa and win Iowa. And everybody thought he was going to be the nominee, and he has just fallen apart, man. John Allen was using the analogy of the missile that went up and right back down. And that's what he's done. And I think, Dana, you touched on it, that he doesn't seem to be ready for prime time. He's tried to out-Trump Trump, right? And he's flip-flopped on several big issues. And he's just so he went from being number 1 in Iowa to now he's down around 3 points. I think.
Yeah, 3% he's got in Iowa. 3% in the latest poll.
Right. And you know what? You can't blame it all on Donald Trump either. It's Scott Walker's own. He's his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
His campaign has just fallen apart. Hey, Dana, good call. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd certainly put Scott. If I were CNN, I'd move Scott Walker down there, but they came up with the rules, and he's not the only one I would move down. But certainly I would not include him on the list of serious Republican candidates. if there is such a thing as a serious Republican. No, there is, but I'm not sure any of these guys qualify. That's our list. Again, do you agree? 866-55-PRESS. Our list is getting it down to Donald Trump, Jeb Bush, Ben Carson, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and John Kasich. The rest of them, get a job. We'll be right back. Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show hosts in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people. A Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around. Offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman Show, Stephanie Miller Show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
The Ad Council.
Seen on Free Speech TV and online on TawkrTV. This is the Bill Press Show.
13 minutes before the top of the hour, Rebecca Sinderbrand here, political news editor at the Washington Post, here and joining us in studio at the top of the next hour. Right now we're taking a look at in anticipation of the second Republican presidential debate coming up this Wednesday evening on CNN. We are even ahead of the debate, trying to pare the crowded field down to something we can handle and something that's real. I mean, 17 people started. Rick Perry dropped out over the weekend. down to 16. Jim Gilmore, for all practical purposes, is not even on the field. He will not be in either of the debates. So we're saying, okay, who's serious and who's not? We've come up with a list of 6. What do you think? Ads or subtractions? By the way, we did say that Scott Walker is not on our list of serious candidates, despite what he plans to do today. Peter?
Yeah, big story about Scott Walker and what he's going to be proposing today. I'm just going to read straight from this AP story. Republican presidential candidate Scott Walker on Monday will call for sweeping restrictions on organized labor in the United States, seeking to replicate nationwide his successful efforts as Wisconsin's governor to curb the power of unions. Walker will propose eliminating unions for employees of the federal government, making all workplaces right to work unless individual states vote otherwise, scrapping the federal agency that oversees unfair labor practices, and making it more difficult for unions to organize. He's going to make that announcement today at a town hall in Las Vegas.
You know what this, yeah. So this is his war against, let's not call it a war against unions. This is a war against working families.
Right.
This is a war against Americans who depend on a paycheck. And Scott Walker is going, this is round 2, right? This is what he did as governor with the support of the Koch brothers, and he got away with it in Wisconsin, and now he's going to say, okay, here again, I can take on the unions, therefore I'm qualified to take on ISIS, right? Yeah. So he's going to run an anti-working families campaign. Forget it.
This is really bad. This is his death rattle. If he thinks that this is going to kickstart his campaign, I think he's wrong.
Well, he's sort of, he's trying to out-Trump Trump. So this is sort of his equivalent of Trump's, I'm going to throw all the illegal immigrants out of America, right? Scott Walker would throw anybody who's a member of a labor union out of the country.
Yeah, right.
Right. But I think it shows how desperate the guy is. He's got to come up with something so outrageous that he thinks it'll get him attention. I think it just shows that, again, not ready for prime time. Who are the 6, it's a relative term, I know, serious Republican candidates? Beverly's calling from St. David, Illinois. Hello, Beverly.
Hi.
Hey,
How
what's
are
going
ya?
on? All right, we're good.
Well, I already knew that he was going to make this speech because it was announced on Friday here in the state of Illinois when he was at the Eureka College, Reagan's birthplace, whatever.
Yeah.
Only 50 people showed up.
No, really?
There are signs around the entire state of Illinois that says no right to work. We're fighting Mr. Rayner, our stupid governor, who's a fan of Scott Walker and hates unions. That's why we have no budget.
Right.
And thank God we have a Senate and a House Assembly that is majority Democrat.
Interesting that Scott Walker would come to Eureka College and get 50 people, right? Compare that to what Bernie Sanders gets wherever he goes. Yeah. What do you think of Bernie, Beverly?
Bernie, I like him as a person, but you're being unfair to Hillary Clinton. I'm tired of old white men in the White House.
I love Beverly.
All right, Beverly. Listen,
you don't ever have to guess where Beverly's coming from.
I know,
man.
Beverly's not. All right, always good to hear from you, Beverly. I'll repeat again. I love Hillary Clinton. I would love to see Hillary Clinton as president of the United States, and I supported her over Barack Obama. But you can't deny that Bernie Sanders right now is on fire, and he's going up in the polls, and she's not. She's going down in the polls. That's just a fact. You can deny it, but that's just a fact.
Yeah.
And part of the problem is, I think her campaign is doing a lousy job of the way they're presenting her to the American people. It's certainly not working, and they better shake it up, or they're just going to lose. That's, you can't continue to see the numbers dive, and not do something about it, right? And they're not being fair. It's not fair to Hillary. She's better than that campaign is presenting her. No doubt about it. All right. Anyhow, Beverly, still love you. Lots more coming up here on the Bill Press Show. I'll tell you what the president's up to today. He's got a busy schedule. On the road again. This man, his presence. Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show hosts in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people, of Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around, offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman's show, Stephanie Miller's show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
This is the Bill Press Show.
Hey, here we go. Rebecca Sinderbrand from the Washington Post joining us at the top of the next hour. And President Obama, he will be going out to Des Moines, Iowa today. No, he's not running for a third term, but he is going to Iowa, holding a town meeting in Des Moines with Secretary of Education Arne Duncan to talk again about community college and access to community college, which the president, of course, wants to make universal for 2 years, at least for every young student in America. On other breaking news, Kim Davis, the county clerk there in Rowan County, Kentucky, has gone back to work today. And she just met with reporters as she was going in, read a statement saying that she still will not issue licenses. Personally, she will not issue licenses to same-sex couples. if there are any licenses issued, she said they will not be authorized by me. Not sure what that means. It sounds to me like she will continue to defy the orders of the United States Supreme Court. As a government employee, she is not allowed to do that. She's hired to do her job. So I think she is still in contempt of court.
This will get interesting.
I hope that judge throws her ass back in jail. But we'll see how it plays out today. She certainly was not saying, I'm going to obey the law. So we'll see. Kim Davis,
This is the Bill Press Show.
I'm a Piston fan. Their slogan was, we come to work. That's what Detroit about. That's why they used it. It's a team thing. They won 2 championships, a team. There was no star. No mayor can come in here and be a star. It's a team thing. No governor should come in here and think you can do it by yourself. It's a team thing. You got communities. They got ideas, too. The only thing wrong with Detroit, people have lost hope here. Residents, city workers, so much corruption. They lose hope. But I grew up here. I love this city. I think it can come back. I've been working for the city 24 and a half years. Within the last 10 years, we took 4 pay cuts, and then an additional 10% wage cut. I've lost a home.
When you take all of the decisions out of the city of Detroit, all of us, then what do you have? Exactly what we got. A lot of problems. Every time the city seems to fall into a problem, it's always on the backs of us workers.
You wake up out of a dead sleep and you jump behind the wheel and take off driving and try to get everybody there safe, not knowing really what you're pulling up to. I'm not eligible for Social Security, so the pension is my sole salary at this point.
We've been in business here 39 years. We've seen a lot of changes in Detroit. The area was a lot of industry, a lot of city workers. It's getting very tough for the city workers. It's getting tough for us as a business people.
Response times are increasing because of the closing of companies, which takes your insurance rate through the roof. So all the things that affect us affect the citizens.
I worked for the city in different capacities for 29 years. I feel like an old jacket. They use me up and they throw me away. In my condition, nobody's gonna hire me. I'm 68 years old. Half the times, I can't get my blood pressure medicine. It's either feeding myself, blood pressure, or paying bills.
$754. By the time they take all the deductions for I have my car insurance, my house insurance, and my health insurance taken out. So the time they take all that, I'll get about $300 after they take all that out. I don't understand it. I can't see how the governor's allowing this to happen and what they're doing and they want to blame it all on the seniors. Not only the seniors, but the city workers. And we worked hard. I know I worked hard.
I've been in Detroit since 1946. I was 14 years old when I came in. I don't live large at all. I wish I could. I haven't opened the last time I've been shopping. I only get $1,100, and I'm 81 years old, and I need every penny that I can get and that I do get. And I'm very, very upset about the idea of them taking away my pensions that I worked 30 years for. I think it's terrible that they talk about Detroit like they do, because Detroit has been very good to me.
I have a lot of city workers coming in with their uniforms on, Detroit Water Department, Police Department, Fire Department. I get a lot of people, the Border Patrol come in. So if I lose that customer base, I'm going to be in a position where I might have to close down. If they take away their pensions, if they start cutting jobs, it's going to cut into a large percentage of not only our business, but other businesses that are in the city of Detroit. We're here. We've been here for 26 years. We're still trying to do business in the city.
Detroiters are survivors. They tough, they adapt, but only can do so much when your politicians are ahead of you and we're not on the same team. We're not going to let Detroit be erased, bulldozed to where we're going to fight to the bitter end. Detroit going to survive.
Just this month, my bill was like $138.
Even at one phone call a week cost me $40 to $50 every month.
I am living on a fixed income of SSI, so this is really a great hardship. Families are being punished. When they incarcerate their children, they incarcerate the whole family.
In 2011, the Media Action Grassroots Network, Working Narratives, and Prison Legal News founded the Campaign for Prison Phone Justice, an effort to call on the FCC to address the cost of interstate phone calls. The campaign mobilized prisoners to send hundreds of letters. Advocates and families filled out postcards, met with elected officials, and signed petitions. Partnerships were formed across the political spectrum and with groups in the criminal justice, civil rights, and public interest community. The film distribution company Participant Media and director Ava DuVernay joined the fight through a social action campaign tied to the release of the feature film Middle of Nowhere. In an effort to push the FCC to act, the campaign hosted a historic rally outside of the Federal Communications Commission where for the first time, families of prisoners, elected officials, civil rights and faith leaders came together to call for an end to predatory phone rates.
We're all held captive when predatory phone companies gouge our families.
My son has been incarcerated now for over 10 years, and my husband estimates that in the time we spent over $25,000 on prison phone calls.
My hero's not yours, you probably arrested them. Your schools probably neglected them. They spawn thoughts, you probably infected them. Feed us what you feed us, you can lay us next to them. FBI call it major crimes. Babies making babies cry.
Broadcasting around the nation, on your radio, on your TV, and online. This is The Bill Press Show.
Rick Perry drops out of the presidential race. The big question is, did Rick Perry ever really drop into the presidential race? I don't know. It didn't last very long. But he's still, there are others, I think, who are weaker than Rick Perry. He just happens to be number one. Out. Good morning, everybody. What do you say? It's good to see you here on the Bill Press Show this Monday, September 14. Hope you had a good weekend. Ready to dive into a big week on the political front. Most of the attention focused on the second Republican presidential debate Wednesday evening on CNN from Simi Valley, California, and the Reagan Library. It'll be not one debate, but two. Same thing we had the last time on Fox. But, of course, the kiddie table debate, a little smaller right now because Rick Perry will not be there. Good to see you, and to help us through the politics of the day, we are joined by a good friend from the Washington Post, deputy political editor, political news editor. What am I saying, deputy? She's it. Political news editor, the Washington Post, Rebecca Sinderbrand. Hi, Rebecca. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Exciting times, huh? And
there's
fun
a lot
times.
going on. There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
So much going on.
I know.
Yeah.
Really fun to catch up on a Monday over all the news since we were last together Friday morning. Peter Ogburn and Jamie Benson, our teammates here.
Here we are.
Hello there.
With Ray Rogers. on the phones to take your calls at 866-55-PRESS and Cyprian Bolding, videographer, keeping us looking good on free speech and on TawkrTV. With some breaking news at the top of the hour just a few minutes ago, Kim Davis, the embattled clerk of Rowan County, Kentucky, returned to work for the first time since she got out of jail for contempt of court, refusing to follow the ruling of the United States Supreme Court and issue marriages to all couples, same-sex couples as well as straight couples. She returned to work and still with an air of defiance, basically saying she's still not going to obey the court's ruling. Here she is.
While there are many accommodations available, a very simple accommodation I have proposed is to remove my name and my title as the clerk of Rowan County.
Remove? Yeah. So what she's saying is not that remove me as a clerk, but remove my name and my title from any marriage licenses for same-sex couples, so they would be issued by her office, but her name would not be on there.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what. So she's asking for some special accommodation. Again, she continues.
I thank the Lord that Judge Benning released me from jail last Tuesday. But today, as I return to work, my simple request for an accommodation has gone unheard. Whether I personally issue the license or whether one of my deputies issues it, the result is the same. The license is issued under the authority of Kim Davis, County Clerk of Rowan County.
All right. So,
whatever.
Yeah. So basically, she wants either the legislature or the governor to give her special permission not to obey the law. Why? Why should she get that? Right? Could you get that? Could you get that? No. Right? No.
I don't have much clerking experience. I will say it'll be interesting to see. We've seen these Republican candidates go down there. We saw, Ted Cruz effectively crashing Mike Huckabee's party down at, which was kind of incredible. So it'll be interesting to see if we see that kind of sustained support. We're going to see them go back to Kentucky. So we'll have to keep our eyes open for that.
And also to see what some members of Congress might be saying about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you go to our website, BillPressShow.com, I think you can still find, Peter, my column from last week.
Yes, indeed.
On Kim Davis, the headline of the column, Kim Davis is no Rosa Parks. Check it out. I don't think she should have any special permission to ignore the Supreme Court's. We start going around handing out people passes. Yeah, you don't have to. Okay, you've got a pass. You don't have to obey this Supreme Court decision, and you don't have to obey this Supreme Court decision. That's not the way it works. We're all Americans. We all obey the law. Back to the politics of the moment, but first, Peter.
This is the Full Court Press.
Just a couple of other stories making news. There's a Republican debate this week. It's coming up this week, yes, indeed. And it's going to be on CNN, and they're pulling kind of an unprecedented move, and I hope this is going to be one that we see more and more. So if you have your cable and you have CNN as part of your cable, you can watch it on your mobile device, your iPad, whatever you want to watch it on, right? But CNN is saying, even if you don't have a subscription to CNN, even if you don't have a cable provider where you are watching CNN, they're going to stream it for free. If you're a cord cutter out there and you've gotten rid of, say, CNN or other news or other TV channels, you don't even have to have it. You can watch it for free. Don't cost nothing.
Smart of them to do.
Very smart of them to do. Just outside Baltimore, Maryland, Pikesville, Maryland, Pikesville Middle School last week, a 14-year-old boy was dared to go and kiss a 13-year-old girl, which is what he did. On the playground, he went, or when they were at recess, he went and he kissed her. That boy is now facing second-degree assault charges as a juvenile. Not only did he get sent to the principal's office, the principal called the police. Nobody was injured, they say, but that he could be suspended or expelled from school, and then, on top of that, he's going to be facing second-degree assault charges. I report.
I don't know what to think about that.
You decide.
First of all, it seems to me, by the time you're 14...
He's a little old. He should know better.
This is not like a 6-year-old,
yeah,
right?
he should totally know better.
5-year-old or 3, I'd say this is...
A lot of missing details in that one.
Yeah. And Google Fiber has already taken over a couple of cities with great success. People love Google Fiber. Faster, it's more affordable, it's easier for people to use. And they announced that there are 3 new cities that will become fiber cities. Are you ready, Bill? Are you ready, Rebecca?
Bracing himself.
San Diego, Irvine, California, and Louisville. Not Washington, D.C.
What does this mean?
Any of the surrounding areas. So Google Fiber is laying down faster, more affordable internet, and what they want is for everybody to have the opportunity to use it. So, like what they point out here is that the people who run those cities made a very effective pitch. They're like, we have people who need Google Fiber. We have people who need the internet, need it more affordable, need it, in areas that they have trouble getting reliable internet. And so Google is going in there and laying it down.
In San Diego, they have trouble getting internet. Who knew?
Apparently, right?
Who knew?
You got it. All right. Thank you, Peter. All right, so Rebecca, you are, I'm sure you're all up on this second debate. Do you think the audience is going to be as big for the second as the first?
I think it might be, in part because, brace yourself for the cage match in Simi Valley. The way Jake Tapper, who's one of the moderators of the debate, has been talking about this, they are going to be pitting candidates against each other. He's also expecting the candidates to take shots at him, so this is going to be an all-out brawl. I think people expect that. And you've also seen over the past couple of days...
They're painting it that, or they're planning it or painting it that way, aren't they? Right.
And the candidates are itching for that. This is not an artificial situation they're creating. I've heard from several of the campaigns that, in the first debate, they hung back a little bit, didn't want to tangle with Donald Trump, didn't want to become the target for his barbs, didn't want to get hit. This time, they're not holding back. This time, they're planning to take him on. So get ready to see a full pile-on Donald Trump.
Which I think is going to be beneficial to him. I think he loves that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's his sweet spot right there in the mud.
Well, he may personally love it. We'll see whether people, how the viewers react. Is he his best when he's getting attacked or not? That's the question.
Right. But is that... you're right. I mean, in a sense, and I guess CNN is right. That's what people want to see. Mm-hmm. What does that really do in terms of showing how well these people are qualified to handle the important issues of the day?
Well, I mean,
it doesn't shed any light on that at all.
It certainly highlights the differences in their opinions. So if you want to know where the candidates stand and how they differ from each other, you're going to hear a lot of that.
Right. We've been focusing a lot this week this morning on the fact that with the JV debate, right, or the kiddie table debate. Yeah. Now with Rick Perry gone, and they CNN disqualified Jim Gilmore, so there are going to be 4 people on stage: Rick Santorum, Bobby Jindal, help me out here,
Lindsey
Graham,
Rand Paul,
and Rand Paul. No.
Rand Paul's on the main stage. It's 11 candidates on the main stage
this
time.
Yeah.
I've gone over that so many times this morning. And by the way, the fact that they're hard to remember, right, is it says almost all you need to know. George Pataki, George Pataki, Lindsey Graham, Rick Santorum, and the 4th, Bobby Jindal. Right. Why even have that debate?
I think we're going to see that question going forward. I think, once it gets down to 3 candidates, I think you're going to see kind of a reassessment from the networks about whether it's worth having this. They may add the candidates onto the main stage.
This will be the last time, don't you think?
Add the candidates onto the main stage or not have it all together. Yeah. But I think this may be the last of the JV debates.
Yeah, because Carly Fiorina has moved up to the big stage, right?
That's right. She's in the big leagues now.
How soon before others just start dropping out?
Well, this has been the question from the beginning, and this is why what happened with Rick Perry is pretty interesting. We talked about these zombie campaigns, these campaigns that any other year would have been dead in the water, but because of their super PACs and the resources available there separately, they were kind of wandering the earth, not realizing they were yet dead, much like zombies. And so, we didn't know how long these campaigns could last that way. Rick Perry stopped being able to pay his staffers effectively, was just kind of holding on to 1 or 2 paid staffers in 2 states to kind of keep qualifying for the debates. The super PAC was flush. The super PAC was doing quite well. And so the question, the Super PAC was saying, well, we can step in, we can assume some of these functions. And now we're finding out, no, you really can't outsource an entire campaign. So we're going to have to see as this, move. You have a number of candidates in the same position where their super PACs have been pulling it in. The campaign's not so much.
And they cannot use super PAC money to pay their running costs.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so, you've seen them outsource a lot of the functions of the campaign. Jeb Bush has effectively outsourced his entire policy shop to the super PAC at this point, more or less. Maybe that's not as the kind of cure-all that everyone had assumed it was. We'll see.
What is up with Jeb Bush in the sense that he's running third, if that, to Donald Trump and Ben Carson in most of the polls that I've seen recently. Is it just that he's holding back and his campaign hasn't just started spending money yet, or is he just not?
Oh, his campaign's been spending money. They've been spending their burn rate has been
but
very, very impressive. And so the question, there's kind of two things going on here. And his team has been talking to anxious donors, of course, in recent days, and they've been saying, look, just wait, just hold on, just see what happens. They point to, of course, back in 2012 or 2008 when you had, let's say, Rudy Giuliani, the front runner at this point of the cycle, and they're saying, it's a long, long way from New Hampshire and Iowa. That said, you are seeing a shift. You've seen a shift in his rhetoric in the past couple of days. You've seen him more willing to tangle with Donald Trump. He doesn't like being called low energy. Someone was saying that it looks like Jeb Bush has started eating his Wheaties. So he's really ready to rumble at this point. Are we going to see that on stage? If we see that on stage, that could be an interesting phenomenon. If you see people, maybe what Jeb Bush might not have thought of in the first debate as being presidential, but it's a person who's going to stay alive.
I have to tell you, the thing that I find most mystifying on the Republican side, even more than Donald Trump's success, is Ben Carson. I don't get the appeal of Ben Carson.
Yeah.
When Donald Trump says he's low energy, he is low energy.
Can I just put a thought into your head? Can you imagine a State of the Union given by Ben Carson? Could you imagine?
Or an inaugural address.
It's interesting, too. It's like, one of the things we've said about Donald Trump is a lot of times he says what a lot of the other candidates, a lot of other Republicans are thinking, but just won't say out loud. He kind of zeroes in. It's what do they call reading? He zeroes in on the one kind of characteristic. And yes, Ben Carson, not the most energetic candidate out there. That said, in our poll, you look, Donald Trump, the bulk of his support is coming from people without a college education, making less than $50,000. Obviously, he has a lot of support across the spectrum, but particularly strong there. Mm-hmm. With Ben Carson, it's the conservative base. And, traditionally, that's been kind of a better go-to. That's been the thing that gets you closer to the nomination.
You are out today with a new poll, you and Washington Post and ABC.
That's right.
Give us highlights, and we'll talk about them when we come back on the other side.
Well, it's interesting. A couple of highlights. One of them is, of course, Hillary Clinton's still softness there. Combined, Biden and Sanders at this point are neck and neck or even slightly ahead of Clinton. Of course, if Biden were to skip the race, it's interesting to see that support. Most of it goes to Hillary Clinton. She immediately jumps back to 56%. Right now, she's below 50% support in the Democratic primary. And looking over on the Republican side, very interesting. We did a hypothetical general election matchup, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Where are they? If you look at all voters, Hillary Clinton's got a significant advantage. If you look at registered voters, so these are people who are more likely to kind of head out there, it's basically neck and neck, basically a statistical tie, even though Hillary Clinton outpolls Trump on empathy, on honesty, on trustworthiness. She has advantages there. Even so, among registered voters, it's only a 3-point Clinton advantage. It's within our statistical margin of error.
The idea that Donald Trump could, at this point, would be tied with Hillary Clinton in a national poll is unbelievable. But so much has been unbelievable about this 2016 race so far. Rebecca Sinderbrand, political news editor of Washington Post here, analyzing it, taking it all apart for us. At 866-55-PRESS, your chance to join the conversation.
Your progressive headquarters for the 2016 election. This is the Bill Press Show.
Okay, free speech speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show host in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people. A Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around. Offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman Show, Stephanie Miller Show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
Let's get America working. We must build, maintain, and repair our nation's crumbling infrastructure. Teamsters support a bipartisan approach to creating good jobs for American workers. Learn more at letsgetamericaworking.com. Teamsters strong, America stronger.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
Connect with The Bill Press Show on Twitter. Follow us at BP Show and tweet using the hashtag WatchingBP. This is The Bill Press Show.
Nobody knows Texas politics better than Wayne Slater from the Dallas Morning News. We'll check in with him at the half hour here. Right now, nobody knows national politics better than Rebecca Sinderbrand, political news editor at the Washington Post. We've been talking a lot about the Republican side, a little bit about Hillary and Donald Trump. Bernie Sanders who's going down to Liberty University today.
That's
That should be
right.
interesting.
Celebrating Rosh Hashanah with Liberty.
Jerry
That's right.
Falwell's University. Yeah. Latest 20 in the CBS poll, 22 points ahead of Hillary Clinton in New Hampshire and 10 points ahead of her in Iowa.
It's unreal. This is, the Iowa is a surprise. And if you're Hillary Clinton's campaign, we already know they've been touting their numbers on the ground. They want to make the point. Look, we're not going to get surprised like last time. We have the infrastructure. We have the people on the ground. We have the resources. But you know what? Bernie Sanders is developing some as well. He's not quite where Clinton is, but we ran the numbers in Iowa and in New Hampshire. And Iowa, last time we checked, about 2/3 of the staffing of Hillary Clinton in terms of offices and volunteers on the ground. So, he's getting there.
He's got 2/3 as many as Hillary does, is what you're saying.
At this point,
Right.
Is that going to last? We don't know. But at this point, that's where they are.
Coming on strong. Rebecca, great to see you. Thanks so much for coming in, all right? And good luck Wednesday night.
This is the Bill Press Show.
Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little timeout to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show host in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people. A Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around. Offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost: How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman's show, Stephanie Miller's show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp, the whole enchilada. And of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
Let's get America working. We must build, maintain, and repair our nation's crumbling infrastructure. Teamsters support a bipartisan approach to creating good jobs for American workers. Learn more at letsgetamericaworking.com. Teamsters strong, America stronger.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks.
Tune into Free Speech TV for Democracy Now!, a national, independent, award-winning news program bringing you people and perspectives rarely seen on corporate media.
Seen on Free Speech TV and online on TawkrTV. This is the Bill Press Show.
How about it? 33 minutes after the hour, Monday, September 14. The Bill Press Show, live from Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Brought to you today by AFSCME, the good men and women of AFSCME. Under President Lee Saunders, they are the largest public employee and healthcare workers union in the entire country. And for more information, you can check out all the good things they're doing to make America happen at their website, AFSCME. That's AFSCME.org. The AFSCME.org, again, we salute them and thank them for their support of the program. Checking in here with Wayne Slater at the Dallas Morning News, hopefully joining us shortly.
Can you imagine this Republican debate on Wednesday if it goes like an extra hour than the last? I mean, we're talking about like a 3-hour debate just so they can make room for everybody.
No.
Oh God, would that be torture?
Yeah. Even if I didn't have to get up so early, I don't think I could stay around and watch that forever. But you know, when as Rebecca indicated right there, she was leaving. If you have 11 candidates on stage, in order for them to have any time at all to make their case, right? They're going to have to go longer than an hour.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll go an entire 2 hours, but probably look for an hour and a half. Meanwhile, as we know, the kiddie table or the JV debate, whatever you want to call it, is going to be smaller than CNN anticipated. They had already disqualified Jim Gilmore. And on Friday, Governor Rick Perry said he was suspending his campaign, so he won't be on stage either. Nobody knows Texas politics better than our good friend Wayne Slater. Nobody knows Governor Rick Perry better. Political writer emeritus now for the Dallas Morning News. Hello, Wayne. How are you?
Bill, it's great to be with you. Yes, I'm kind of on vacation, working on some projects. Emeritus means something. I'm not quite sure. But
that's quite a title, emeritus. Yeah. So Rick couldn't get it started again, huh? This time around.
No, and you know, I'm in mourning in one way because, as you know, he really tried to study up on stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And to learn stuff. He was a much better candidate. I think we actually saw that in that speech where he announced, "I'm out."
Yeah.
And in fact, his campaign had done a lot of things right. They had rounded up some money. The super PAC still has a lot of money that they're going to give back to the billionaires that gave him the money. He had decided to recast his campaign as, "I'm the guy for jobs and for the military." And if you remember, he was really among, if not the first candidate to go after Trump. They decided that inside, we're going to do that. None of it worked. You know,
He also showed a little self-deprecating humor, which I hadn't seen in him before, right? He joked about his blooper the last time when he couldn't remember the 3 agencies, you know?
Absolutely, and he would do that, and as you know, we love that. We like it when a candidate tries to be human, even if it's totally artificial. We like it if they try to do that.
I saw him up in Manchester, New Hampshire, with that little forum before the first debate, and in the first debate, again, was the kiddies table. I thought he did well. I certainly think that he is stronger than some of the candidates who are still in there.
I I think you're probably right.
And it's only a matter of time. So,
but he doesn't have any money. I mean, again, the thing that was, I'll wrap this up, but it was amazing when he said, I just got no money. He was actually arriving at some of these stops in Iowa and in South Carolina by himself on a plane with a suitcase thrown on the overhead to make these stops. So,
yeah. Wow. So he can't use couldn't use the super PAC money to pay for the day-to-day stuff of the campaign. I guess that's what the rules are.
Yeah, that's it. And in fact, the guy who was in charge of the super PAC, Austin Barber, who was Haley Barber's son, said, and I take him at his word, that he was surprised when Perry announced that he was out, which actually is one of those refreshing moments where where what's supposed to happen maybe happened. Maybe indeed there was no coordination between the super PAC and the
right. Now, if we have 2 Floridians in the race, we also have 2 Texans. So how's your other Texan? Is he for the long haul?
You mean Carly Fiorina? She was born in Austin, Texas.
Oh, I didn't know that. Man, there are 3.
And Jeb Bush, he sort of has a connection. But Ted Cruz was likely, if I had to make a guess, even if Perry had stayed in the race, I would guess, and in fact I still guess, that Ted Cruz is likely going to win the primary in Texas on March 1st. That, of course, assumes that Trump isn't just swamping everybody, when by all indications he is right now. But I suspect that'll go by the wayside. So Cruz is doing great. I think he's playing things right. Over the weekend, I was with one of his advisors who said, look, he's just waiting, hoping that Trump, if he falls, that Cruz gets the lion's share of some of those folks, and that's the anti-establishment, the line, anti-establishment, anti-Washington, anti-everything, and also an appeal to Christian conservatives, who it stuns me that Donald Trump has any Christian conservatives, but he does. So Cruz thinks he can pull in some of these votes. We'll see.
Yeah, and Ted Cruz has his share of those religious conservatives, which he's been able to take away from Mike Huckabee this time around. And Ted Cruz has been maybe not the only one, but certainly one of the few who have said nice things about Donald Trump, right? I mean, he's been very careful to not to alienate Trump.
He's been spared the wrath of Trump.
That's it. And, you can look at it 2 ways, as you know. One is that he really wants to say nice things. The other is that he's a crafty politician who understands, you spare the wrath. And 2, you want to pick up the leavings in the event that Donald Trump does not make it to February or March, or the act begins to wear off.
Having followed so many of these and covered so many of these presidential campaigns, Wayne, isn't it interesting that if you look at across the field, right, that on the Republican side, it's Donald Trump and Ben Carson getting most support, it seems, and on the Democratic side, the one who's really on fire is Bernie Sanders. I mean, the American electorate sort of seems fed up with the status quo or the same old, same old.
Absolutely, and you hate to fall into the cliche that that's what this race is about, but that is what this year is about, or this cycle. And it's funny. I think if we look back, I guess some smart people will write books. Maybe you, Bill, will write the book about the true effect of political polarization. This stuff that began, well, I don't know when it began, maybe with Jefferson and Adams, but it certainly began, and we saw it in the Clinton years, through the Bush years, and certainly the Obama years, where you have this increasing sense of go into your own corner, the political polarization against the other guy, not on matters of principle, but just because he's the other guy on anything and everything. And one of the things that does is creates an attitude in voters that says really a pox on both their houses. You don't just see the Republicans, but you see, in the case of Bernie Sanders, the same fundamental populist expression that manifests itself because of this nutsy polarization of a system that can't seem to get anything done.
No, well said. And I think it is pox on both of your houses, and people are just saying, look, you guys have had a chance, right? You had your shot and you blew it, right? You haven't delivered for the people, and stagnant wages, all that kind of stuff. And they're just tired of. I've heard Bernie say it's same old, just doesn't work anymore. You and I mean, I always feel that in the we've seen some of these rumbles before, but in the end, the establishment will always emerge and then win once again. This time, I'm not sure that's going to happen.
Where's your optimism in the American sort of middle ground? One of the things that I've learned, and it sounds like pandering to whatever, but I really think whether it's I look on ballots for candidates over the years, and I look on ballots for something like constitutional amendments in Texas and other states, voters are smart. They really are. In the end, you may not agree with every decision that's made, but fundamentally, they really do evaluate. And I have a sense that against this backdrop, this sort of whether you call it anti-Washington, anti-establishment, anti-fundamental elite, whatever it is, I really think that they'll fall back and we will end up with something more moderate when it comes time to vote. I got to say, though, Trump has sold out the basketball arena tonight in Dallas, where the Mark Cuban, has the Dallas Mavericks play, and I can't think of a better match made in heaven, because you got a candidate with a healthy self-regard in a state with historically, as you know, a healthy self-regard, and you got a guy who's braggy and self-indulgent and brash and struts about and is independent-minded. Oh my God! I mean, that's the only thing.
What if maybe he's courting him for vice president? Can you imagine Trump Cuban?
Well, that's actually been a bit of the talk, to be honest with you. Not serious talk, but that would be. I would pay for that.
Sure, you bet. Oh my God!
Biden, Bernie, and
Trump Cuban.
And Trump Cuban. I'm on the road. I'm covering these guys.
Yeah, you're coming out of it. Get rid of your Emeritus title and get back in action here, right? Okay.
Exactly.
All right, Wayne, it's awfully fun. Great to catch up with you again, my friend. Thanks so much for your time.
Okay,
right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Wayne. Wayne Slater at thedallasnews.com. Glad he's still in action. He's great. And Kim Davis is back in action. We'll get into that when we come back. Okay, free speech fans out there, take advantage of this little time out to ask for your help once again. We know you love free speech, and we love being part of it. Free Speech TV, that is. We love being part of it. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, there's no such thing as free speech either. Yes, it's free to you every day to get to visit with the best progressive talk show hosts in the entire country, and our guests and all the commentary we bring to you, and your chance to weigh in on the issues with your calls and with your comments. That's all free, but it's not free to produce it and to get that message and to get that programming out to you every day. That's where we need your help to keep free speech on the air, and we turn to you in this fall pledge drive to keep this great partnership alive, keep it going, and ask you to please make your pledge today as generously as you can. To help you maybe make up your mind, here's what we can offer you in return for your help. For just $30, we'll send you one of our great eco journals and a pen set, a Bill Press Show eco journal and a pen set. For $60, that's just $5 a month. You get a stamp. Corporations are not people. A Free Speech TV stamp. Very popular last time around, offering that again. For $10 a month, $120, a copy of Lawrence Lessig's great book on campaign finance reform called Republic Lost, How Money Corrupts Congress and a Plan to Stop It. For $175, you get the Free Speech TV bear. Look at this. Beautiful little bear to cuddle up with. Plus a Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, which will take you directly to Free Speech TV, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman Show, Stephanie Miller Show, The Bill Press Show, Ring of Fire, and others. $240, $20 a month, you get this Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button and the Republic Lost book by Lawrence Lessig. And for $360, the Free Speech TV bear with the Free Speech TV Family 10 button set, the Republic Lost book, and that corporations are not people stamp. The whole enchilada. And, of course, the grand prize we always offer, if you can afford $1,000 for Free Speech TV, you and a friend make your way to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, our treat, to a great restaurant here on Capitol Hill, and you can come in the studio the next morning and meet the entire team and have a lot of fun. Please pledge today at whatever level you can. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. But please, make your pledge today. Let's get this fall pledge drive off to a great, big, rousing start. We need your help. Free Speech TV. And thank you.
Streaming live video right now at youtube.com/TawkrTV. That's TAWKR-TV. This is The Bill Press Show.
All right, here we go now, 12 minutes before the top of the hour. Yes, indeed. She is back, and she is unapologetic, and she is still defiant. We're talking about Kim Davis, the county clerk of Rowan County, Kentucky, who was sent to jail last week by a Republican governor, by the way, for refusing to obey the order of the decision, a ruling of the United States Supreme Court that same-sex couples have the same right to get a marriage license as straight couples. She said that interferes with her religion, and she believes, that the Bible says that marriage should only be between one man and one woman, and she's not going to issue such marriage licenses. So she went to jail for that. She came back today and defiantly said, basically, she's not going to change at all. She said that she will not sign any marriage licenses for same-sex couples. She wants an exemption or a free pass so that her name and her title would be taken off any marriage licenses issued by that county. She wants the governor or the state legislature to basically say she is above the law. She does not have to obey the law. And she says because of her religious conviction, she has a right to that free pass. And Rick Santorum has already been on television this morning saying, supporting her request for a special exemption. And she also says that she is going to appeal any same-sex marriage licenses that were issued from that office while she was in jail that still had her name on it. Because, after all, she is the elected county clerk of Rowan County, Kentucky. So, of course, anything issued by that office had her name on it. Here is Kim Davis making her case.
While there are many accommodations available, a very simple accommodation I have proposed is to remove my name and my title as the clerk of Rowan County.
So that's all she said, just easy. And basically what she's saying is, I still get paid $80,000, but I'm not going to do my job.
That's what she's saying, yeah.
That's what she's saying, yeah. In other words, I'll still be here. I'll still be taking up room here and cashing my paycheck, but I won't do my job again.
I thank the Lord that Judge Benning released me from jail last Tuesday. But today, as I return to work, my simple request for an accommodation has gone unheard. Whether I personally issue the license or whether one of my deputies issues it, the result is the same. The license is issued under the authority of Kim Davis, County Clerk of Rowan County.
Yeah, well, yeah, her request for an exemption has gone unheard. You know what? So has my request, right? Yeah, I put in a request that I should be exempt from paying taxes.
All right.
Because Jesus tells me, yeah,
take your pay.
Give all your money to the church and none to the government. That's what the Bible tells me. I also put in a request I should be exempt from all highway speed limits.
Sure.
Because damn it, my Bible tells me go as fast as you can.
Jesus, take the wheel.
That's it. Because you You may not get there otherwise.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, this is absolutely absurd. She can't. They can't let her get away with this. I think that judge has got to say, "Hey, lady, didn't you hear me last week?" Right? I don't care whether you're a Muslim, a Christian, a Buddhist, or whatever, or a non-believer. You are an American. As an American, this is decided. I told you last week. I'll remind you. This is decided in 1803, Marbury v. Madison. Check it out. That decisions of the Supreme Court are the law of the land, and that all Americans must follow them. And you cannot have exceptions for anybody, not for some dumbass county clerk down in Round County, Kentucky. And now Ted Cruz and Rick Santorum and Mike Huckabee want to make her some religious model. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. She's a lawbreaker. That's what she is. Someone who defies the law, and she's got to pay the price for it. So
I look forward to when we don't have to talk about Kim Davis anymore.
I do too, but I most look forward to her getting bounced back in jail.
Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, where she belongs. And with that, take a quick break. Back with today's parting shot.
Like politics? Then like The Bill Press Show on Facebook. This is The Bill Press Show. Broadcasting around the nation, on your radio, on your TV, and online. This is The Bill Press Show.
Hey, friends and neighbors, what do you say? Good morning. Great to see you this morning. This is the Bill Press Show. We're coming to you live from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., bringing you up to date on all the news of the day, whether it's happening here in our nation's capital, around the country, around the globe. Coming to you live on your local progressive talk radio station, on Free Speech TV, and worldwide on our video stream, TawkrTV. Events in the nation's capital. Hi, everybody. It's Bill Press. This year marks the 10th anniversary of doing the Bill Press Show, every day covering the news of the day with the nation's top newsmakers, either on the line or in our studio right here on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Not only that, I go to the White House briefings every day to get answers to the top questions of the day. Bottom line, if it's happening in Washington, D.C., either at the White House or the Capitol, we are all over it. Every day, we welcome to our studio political leaders and reporters and labor leaders and newsmakers to help us understand the issues of the day. You know, we started out as a radio show only, but over the years, we have branched out to all forms of the new media. So today, we're not just a radio show. We are podcasting, streaming audio, streaming video, and we are simulcast live on Free Speech TV nationwide. Reaching out to 40 million households on Free Speech TV, in addition to hundreds of thousands on local radio stations and online.
AFGE is so proud to be associated with this show and looks forward to being working with Bill and this show for a long time.
Bill Press is the right man at the right time with the right message.
And thanks to the Bill Press Show, we get our message out to thousands and thousands of people every day. Thank you, Bill Press.
The Teamsters are a proud partner with Bill Press on his show, telling the truth about what's going on with working families. Tune in.
Yes, it's been a fun and exciting 10 years so far for the Bill Press Show. We're looking forward to many more with all of you, broadcasting live every morning from the nation's capital.
On your radio, on TV, and online. This is the Bill Press Show.
Let's get America working. We must build, maintain, and repair our nation's crumbling infrastructure. Teamsters support a bipartisan approach to creating good jobs for American workers. Learn more at letsgetamericaworking.com. Teamsters strong, America stronger.
The Parting Shot with Bill Press. This is The Bill Press Show.
And on this Monday, September 14, my parting shot for today, well, anybody who thought the Democratic nomination was going to be a coronation or an automatic walk-in win for Hillary Clinton, obvious now they could not have been more wrong. Yes, it started out that way before she got any competition, but ever since Bernie Sanders jumped in, the movement's been all in one direction. She's been going down and Bernie's been going up. The latest evidence this weekend, according to the latest CBS poll, Bernie's now on top in both of the early primary states. In Iowa, where Hillary once enjoyed a 40-point lead, Sanders is now out in front by a margin of 10 points, 43% to Hillary's 33%. In New Hampshire, which used to be comfortable Clinton territory, Bernie now has a commanding 22-point lead, 52% to Hillary's 30%. Of course, Hillary still has a huge lead in South Carolina, but watch out, Bernie was there over the weekend, so those numbers are going to change too. Who knew? 2016 has turned out to be the year of the outsider. Feel the burn. That's my parting shot for today, folks. I'm Bill Press. Of course, we thank you for joining us today, and Igor Volsky and Arthur Delaney both back with us tomorrow, so come on back and see us.
This is the Bill Press Show.